This is the Europe and Russia Solutions mini lecture that is going to hopefully get you ready a little bit for the discussion. The solution this week is international governmental organizations as opposed to non-governmental organizations that we talked about last time. Non-governmental organizations, you'll recall, are charitable organizations that are trying to solve a particular problem or two internationally. International governmental organizations do the same sort of work that NGOs do, but it's often much broader, and it's also focused not just on project-based work, but also on interstate cooperation. In other words, getting a couple of different countries, or maybe the entire world, to work together on certain issues, whatever those might happen to be. So these international governmental organizations, sometimes known as intergovernmental organizations, are formed by two or more member states that get together to work on a particular issue, usually with some mandate to work in one particular aspect of international development. There's some really clear examples of these that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. For example, NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is an international governmental organization that's focused on military issues that the United States is a member of. The World Bank is one that is focused on financial instruments that are used to help countries around the world stabilize their currencies and develop their economies. Interpol focuses on legal issues and international policing issues. And then sometimes they're regional international governmental organizations, like the Organization of American States, which the United States is a member of. The biggest of all the intergovernmental organizations is, of course, the United Nations, which was founded in 1945 after World War II ended in an effort to try to ensure that a major world war like that was never fought again. Pretty much the entire world belongs to the United Nations, with a couple of exceptions. There are over 190 member states, and they get together in regular General Assembly meetings. And there's, of course, a very powerful Security Council that's made up of the most powerful countries of the world and a couple of others that rotate through the Security Council that get to make big decisions on issues of security around the world. But within the United Nations, there is a really almost dizzying number of other agencies that are linked to it. And I've listed some of the most important ones there: the World Food Program, the Children's Fund, or UNICEF, the World Health Organization, UNESCO, and the one we are going to focus on right now is the UNHCR, or United Nations High Commissioner on Refugees. That organization was founded in 1947. It's essentially the UN's refugee agency, so it links to issues of demography and population and migration, as we're talking about in this particular module. The UNHCR essentially advocates for refugees around the world and tries to ensure that their basic rights are met. Their basic rights were established by an international agreement on the rights of refugees. So not only do they advocate for them, but they also try to protect and aid refugees as much as they possibly can and respond whenever there's some sort of international refugee crisis. And you're going to be exploring some of those crises in the discussion portion of the module material today. The UNHCR also tries to help refugees find what are called durable solutions, which means lifelong solutions to being a refugee, not being a refugee any longer. To do this, the UNHCR works with countries and on their own to vet refugees to make sure that no one is a dangerous international operator trying to use refugee status as protection. They also maintain records on who is looking for refugee status, trying to help them, and also work around the world with various host countries to make placements. So what you'll be doing in this discussion is exploring the solution, both the very specific solution of what the UNHCR does. You're going to go to their webpage. You're going to read about refugee crises. You're also going to look at a couple of countries to see what various countries do to help in the UNHCR's work. But I also want you to be thinking about the broader issue of what international government organizations do and what their role is to finding solutions to many of the problems that we are discussing in this course.